What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this very special episode of Supergirl. This is pretty much the penultimate episode, so let's talk about the show. If you're new to the channel, please do drop a like, please do subscribe as well, and if you are new to the channel, or if you're already subscribed, please do click that bell button to get them notifications. So, welcome people. Very, very strong episode, I think, of Supergirl. And, well, it's a very, very political episode. A very thinly veiled civil rights race episode subject, to be honest. I wasn't that excited for it, to be honest, because I think that Supergirl has become just a tad weak, a bit unfocused, and the whole politics part of this really, in my opinion, hasn't been as strong as it could actually be. And it's been a bit too much, to be honest, with the whole politics and everything with the show. I feel like they are to put in the relationships and the social justice part at the forefront of the show, which, to be honest, can be a detriment. I've got no problem with it, but when it becomes a detriment to the show, because this season, in my opinion, has been incredibly unfocused. So you've got The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Arrow. They have all had a season-wide arc. This one was more Cadmus, and then it was all to do with the Daxam royal family. I'm not too sure what was going on there, to be honest. It's felt fragmented and everything. I feel that they should have really focused on one and used one as a B plot, to be honest. But you know what? At least they finally hit their stride in this episode. And I really, really have loved the Lena Luthor Rhea kind of dynamic, the mother-daughter relationship. Obviously, Lena has been completely seduced and usurped and all completely misled, manipulated as well. It's not gone well for poor Lena, as we could clearly see in this episode. She just wants to be like her brother. She wants to be as smart as her brother, especially in her mother's eyes. And I love the Lex Luthor Stryker Island reference. We know where he is. He is in prison. He's not out on general release. He's not on the run. He's not got a secret base anywhere. He's just not... he's just captured, really. And he's not having a good time, to be honest. And I can't help but think they are adding more and more references to Lex Luthor. And they're going to include him possibly in Season 3. Bit tough because obviously you've got Jesse Eisenberg in the movies playing Lex Luthor, and it seems they can't actually have someone on the show who is alive in that universe. But we did have Superman, and Superman is returning for the finale, and which is where we're going to see General Zod. So it's not looking good for National City at all, especially considering we've got a Daxamite invasion, which I called from the minute she turned up. The minute it was revealed, I knew that would actually happen, and it does make a lot of sense considering that, well, their planet has been destroyed. They want to take over this planet, and the cruel manipulation of Mon-El, where she says that, well, her father committed suicide because of Mon-El, and that's how she stayed alive. And I like the whole fact that, well, they're actually, the Daxamites can be killed by bullets because of lead, which is a neat little thing there. And it's not looking good again for National City, considering that these Daxamites do have superpowers when they are on Earth. Now, I'm really interested to see this invasion because obviously we saw pictures of Daxamite troops walking the streets of National City. So it's obvious that they're going to need Superman involved as well. And I'm glad that they're going to need Superman for such a high-level threat. It doesn't make Kara weak. She just needs another kryptonite to face all these other Daxamites. Now, I'm interested to see how General Zod will actually be involved with this. Will he be one of these ships returning in disguise and turn up? But that all does depend upon, obviously, Superman has been on this Earth for so long. Will he have already fought General Zod? Who knows? We see them fighting in the pictures that we saw as well. But you know what? This was an incredibly strong episode. I think the actor who plays Jimmy Olsen did a stand-up job here of the tender scenes with the Marcus character. And I really, really did love that. And really, this show does do relationships well. It's just the fact that it detracts from the show. What makes Arrow and Flash so good is the comic book action, the actual kind of comic book storylines, not these shipping romances or tender moments, which is what I really, really do miss from the show. And it can make the show so much better if we actually have those moments. And it's weird, such a late in the game episode, we have focused all on the Guardian and James Olsen, which I found a bit odd, to be honest. We want more Supergirl. So, I mean, Supergirl was barely in this episode, which is really strange considering, well, it is her show. It's like featuring a whole episode on Cisco or something on The Flash, or an entire episode on maybe Wild Dog or whatever. Although it did actually pretty much focus a whole episode on him, but not this late in the season. So it's really, really weird there. What is a huge thing as well is we have another Batman Easter egg reference here. I mean, I think this is the third one of just this season where he's talking to Win, and we mention, obviously, Batman there. We've also had a mention of Gotham at the start of this season, and we have also had Kara mention it as well. So that is kind of insane, and I'll be surprised if they bring Batman to the Arrowverse. We know he exists, but it is a huge thing to feature the Bat on a show like this. Maybe he will be included in the finale. I don't know. I'm not even going to predict that. But what I'm going to say is that I think it would be really, really cool if we had him in the finale because, well, they're going to need all the help they can get to take out all of these Daxamites because it's not looking good whatsoever, like I said. Now, hopefully the next season does have a lot more focus and we actually have a villain from the first episode, and that is the big bad throughout. I think that this episode, or this series, would have been a lot better if they did actually put their dick where their mouth is or whatever and actually go for one villain. They pretty much went balls to the wall and chose a villain. Because, like I said, it's so incredibly fragmented. But let me know in the comments what you think of this episode. Did you enjoy it? I thought it was a pretty solid storytelling episode with a huge civil rights and very current storyline. But I can't help but think that exploring Raya and Lena, what they're doing, having Supergirl try and stop that, would have been incredibly, incredibly interesting. And I think is what this show is about. It's a comic book show at the end of it. So please drop a like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.